One of the first memories that I have, I mean, literally, quite literally, the earliest memory that I have is of my first suicide attempt. I remember laying in bed and just thinking about all of the truly awful ways that I felt, that I was feeling, that I was thinking, all of those horrible emotions, and all those awful things I was feeling in my heart, mind, body, spirit, and soul. And this is me at literally somewhere between 3 to 6 years old. And so I crawled out of bed and I opened my second floor bedroom window and I crawled out and I dangled. I dangled out over the ledge. And I don't mean like my feet were outside and my body was inside and the glass window was there. I was fully outside of the window and I just sat there, inner city Detroit, staring at the street lamp, moment by moment, space by space, inch by inch, truly getting closer and closer to just jumping off. And as the hours went by, I'm not quite sure what happened. I never did it. But I do remember two powerful things that came next. One was when I eventually did just come inside, I remember putting on music. And there was something about it that was just so powerful. And it wasn't necessarily that the music was good and I enjoyed it, right? And it was entertaining. We all know how important like creativity and the arts are. It was more than that. It was deeper than that. It awoken something in me that made me feel seen. It made me feel valid. It made me feel affirmed. And it gave me a sense of self, like a sense of purpose. In a way which may seem odd, it gave me like self-agency, self-determination, and really kind of bodily autonomy, as odd as that may sound. And of course, I really didn't have much of those things as like a three to 6 year old. I don't quite remember, right? But it was that empowerment of self that changed something in me. So I went to bed and one might say, sleep it off, but I really didn't. I woke up and I was still very much so in this liminal space, somewhere between that powerful moment of empowerment and suicidal ideation. And so I decided to go outside and to ride my, they called them big wheels at the time, some sort of like bike tricycle type thing. Um, and it was not a safe neighborhood. It was not a safe community at all. Those streets were not a place for anyone, let alone a child in single digits. And I remember just riding up and down the street, and the neighborhood kids came out, and we didn't necessarily talk. We didn't even necessarily play. Like there really wasn't this like ideal image of a playground, loud, and everyone's playing and talking and getting along and all that. We just rode our bikes. We rode our bikes, our trikes, our big wheels, all of the things, and we just kind of rode around. And that was the second thing that was so powerful and so deeply moving to me. And at the time, like I'm not using these words as a kid, right? I'm not connecting these things. But what it was community. It was friends, it was peers. It was the power of peers, right? And those two things, that sense of self that I had from listening to music the previous night before, and then that next morning, that power of community, of friends, of love, of peers, that literally saved my life. That literally saved my life, and I did not have another suicide attempt, at least for a few years after that. Um, and when I think about the work that we do at Youth Move National, that is what we do. I mean, that's what the move in Youth Move National stands for: motivating others through voices of experience. It's about meeting youth where they're at, empowering them, holding up a mirror to them to show them how beautiful they are, how powerful they are, how much power they hold in themselves already simply through just being, their lived and living experiences, their stories, right? And making them see that, helping them see that, giving them that self agency, that self determination, that bodily autonomy that made all the difference for me as a kid, right? That is powerful. And then connecting them to their peers, to community, right? That was the second point that really worked for me. And that's what we do, right? We're motivating others through our voices of experience. And when we do that, it's not only life-changing, it's life-saving. And that is the work of Youth Move National.